man. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And we're just gonna have a quick chat. Now, yes, quitting YouTube, and more importantly, some of the massive changes that are happening to YouTube that I think a lot of creators want to know. And a lot of soon-to-be retired creators might be interested in, or have already shared, or new creators looking to enter in the space. And we'll just jump right into it. Spoiler alert, when I say we're going to go through this really quickly, I got a lot of notes here, so it's probably going to be a minute. I'm not a super fast talker, so if that's a problem for you, then I hate it for you, but you could choose to ramp up the speed to whatever multiple you want. But I'm just going to go through this and see where this goes, and see hopefully what you guys think about some of these thoughts and these predictions, okay? And your opinions and feelings on YouTube, on the platform, on creating a channel, on starting a channel, on growing a channel, on reviving a channel, on, quitting a channel. So no script, full disclosure. The only thing I have here are the 13 unbelievably shocking changes happening to YouTube, and the reasons why everyone quit in 2024, which I just realized you guys probably can't see that at all because of the contrast. That might be why people quit, because of the contrast. I'm just playing. It's probably not why they quit. People quit for a lot of reasons. And sometimes people say they quit and they don't mean it. So I've done it before. I don't think I said I quit. I think I said goodbye. And I didn't realize just how literal your title and thumbnail can be received or interpreted by viewers. And here's the crazy part. You don't know, for the most part, you never know who's going to watch your videos. Now, I take that back. I know if I make a certain video on any one of my channels, that video will underperform. Only underperform on YouTube's ranking system of top 10 videos in the last 10 uploads or whatever. And then as far as, virality and getting a lot of views. But I do know that if I make a certain video with a certain title, certain thumbnail, it's not going to get a lot of views. And odds are I know who's going to see it and who's going to watch it. And those are going to be more than likely the most loyal and faithful channel watchers, subscribers, viewers. So, yeah. But if my goal and my intention is to reach a broad audience and get more views than I have subscribers, which I would consider to be viral, then you never know who's going to see it. And with that comes the drawbacks and consequences of reach. But I look at it as I don't look at it as a completely bad thing or 100% negative, because let's just say at 85,930 subscribers, I'm guessing, I think that's where I'm at. It's a challenging number, but it's also a number that doesn't mean anything, really. It doesn't mean anything anymore. But if I were to get 100,000 views on a video, odds are I didn't get 85,930 views from my subscribers. I didn't. I probably got about 40,000 views from my subscribers, and the rest are from people I don't know, and they don't know me. And somehow my video ended up on their screen and they're watching it. Now, we don't have a rapport. We don't have a history. We don't have a track record. So when videos go viral and new audiences are introduced to you and your content, well, you just never know what the response is going to be. But let's just say it's 100,000 views. 60 to 70,000 of those views are people who have never seen my videos before. And of the 100,000 views, there's 60 to 70% or 60 or 70,000 views are new. I would be willing to bet, let's just say 20% of those, so 12 to 14,000 are going to be satisfied. But of that, 10% are going to subscribe. So, 1,200 to 1,400 will subscribe. Rough math, just spitballing here. But you got to think of the majority of those who are not going to be satisfied for whatever reason it may be. They don't like my title. They don't like my thumbnail. They don't like my approach. They don't like my speed. They don't like my face. They don't like my thought process. They don't like a lot of different things that they don't like that I can't predict. I could probably control, but I'm not going to even try because you just never know who's going to see your videos. And that is the beauty of YouTube's new algorithm and their new system and their new format. You just never know. Which, honestly, it kind of sucks because I know that I make really good videos. And I'm not being conceited or anything like that. I just know that I make really good videos. Sometimes I don't. And sometimes I do that intentionally. But I know I make really good videos, but I also know that the videos that I think are the best typically don't get a lot of views. They don't get a lot of reach. And so there's other creators out there in the same boat that I've come across because I watch a lot. I watch a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of folks that I've never seen before. I want to learn. I want to understand. I want to be able to formulate an opinion and get a grasp on these things so that I can continue to improve and do better. And I'm not the only one who's going to be suffocated and lost in the shuffle of really good content and videos that just never make it to the masses because we are, in essence, the early stages of Veritasium, and we don't really know how to title and thumbnails our videos for maximum reach and maximum views. Instead of titling and thumbnailing our videos for the specific audience that we're targeting. But again, what is your goal, really? You got to ask yourself, what is your goal? Because with the massive reach and large amount of impressions and, unknown audience comes the drawbacks, the negatives, the hatred, the thumbs down, the mean and negative comments, all sorts of things. But, if you want to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs, right? So I've got a list here of the 13 unbelievably shocking changes happening to YouTube. And I want to give credit where credit is due. And this is just another instance where I came across a YouTube channel that I've never seen before, but I really liked what I saw. And his name is Jay Alto. And it says 13 unhinged predictions for YouTube in 2024. Now, the interesting thing about this is inspiration. And I can draw inspiration from a variety of different places for the ideas that I have and the videos that I create and the thought process that I just go with in the content that I create, in the channels that I help and I assist. I'm not a professional. I consider myself to be some sort of enthusiast and coach and consultant, but only for a select few. I take a lot of pride in this, and this is a passion of mine, and I'm not solely driven by the financial return. Therefore, I'm very selective and choosy about who I work with. But Jay Alto, he shared this list. I watched his video, and I liked his input. And I wanted to give my own take on this because I thought it was really interesting. I don't know where he got this list from. I didn't pay that close attention to the video, but it says number 1 on the list of 13 unbelievably shocking changes happening to YouTube is a YouTube video will be shortlisted for a prestigious old media award. Now, this is probably something like an Emmy or a Grammy or a Tony or an Oscar. I don't know how these things work, but I think that's what they mean. YouTube has its own awards system. I think. I'm pretty sure they do because Kara and Nate, I could have sworn that they had mentioned they had gone Tubi, maybe. I don't really know. I'm making this up. And so YouTube will be shortlisted for a prestigious old media award. That means that they would have to consider YouTube as a network, maybe. But Mr. Beast, he had an opinion, I believe, about how impossible that would be to make long form, like commercial content on YouTube. He just says it can't work on the platform. It's like, I think he was actually referring to making a movie on YouTube because it's weird. The audience's interest and attention span is so different. Even if you had the same content of a movie, let's just say, what's a movie that people really enjoy watching? What's a movie that people really, okay, Barbie, the Barbie movie. It's a joke. Maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't. I fell asleep in it, but either way, if you walk into a theater to watch Barbie, your emotion, your feeling, your expectation is different than if you click on a YouTube video that is the Barbie movie, because you are in control, you have power. But even then, it's different than if you were to watch it on Amazon or Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus or Max or Peacock or Apple TV. Like, why are there so many damn streaming platforms? And yeah, I think the other problem with this is that, like I had mentioned previously, is there's a lot of underrated creators who don't get the impressions and recognition that they deserve for the high level of quality and cinematography that they put into their videos. And therefore, they would be extremely deserving of an opportunity to be nominated for this award, but they'll go unnoticed because the algorithm doesn't favor them. They don't play the game. They're not in the club. There's a variety of ways you can play this game. There's a variety of ways you can be in the club. And, obvious would be executing on all known strategies and tactics that get maximum reach and maximum views and maximum virality without promotion, paying promotion. This typically involves some percentage of what some would describe as clickbait. But I got my own thoughts and opinions about clickbait, and I don't view it as a negative. But essentially, you have to entice people to want to watch your video. Every video is clickbait. Now, granted, clickbait is a negative, derogatory term in regard to misleading people into believing that the video is going to be something more or different or other than what it actually is. But I can tell you guys from firsthand experience that even if you were to scientifically, perfectly describe your video title and thumbnail, there will be a percentage of viewers out there who misinterpret it and it's clickbait. Yeah, been down that road before. So I just don't care anymore. But regardless, another way of being in the club and executing on this strategy and formula for maximum reach would be, and ladies, do not get mad, do not get upset. But honestly, having, a perky set of tits and no bra or super tight shorts and a crotch pull up front view or a BBL, solo anything, camping, cooking, fishing, rotor rooting, anything you want to do, solo femaling in a scantily clad outfit, with, bright eyed, looking up to the camera, slow pans, and maybe add a little bit of rain in there, add some rain sound effects, or just stand in the rain. Just stand in the rain. You'll get more views than anybody else. And with a white t-shirt on or something. And or if you need to, use AI, incorporate AI, get some story blocks or some epidemic sound or whatever you want to use to edit your video, add in these special effects. But that's part of the game. I mean, literally, it's a super simple and easy way to get the attention of the algorithm and the audience and the viewers and a bunch of, horny men out there who click on it. And yeah, that's another way to do it. Now, also, I'm not going to exclude the above and beyond extravagant, Mr. Beast style videos where you got to put a lot of money, time, effort, energy, and risk into making these videos. Now, these aren't the only ways and strategies of getting attention on the platform. But there's some folks out there who legitimately put together some amazing content, that don't try to manipulate the system, and they just kind of get okay views. Maybe they get lucky every now and then, get a pop, but YouTube doesn't continue to serve them. I mean, if we want to refer to a few instances of favoritism, then obviously SS Sniper Wolf would be high on the list. Think about that one. But number 2 of 13 unbelievably shocking changes happening to YouTube would be one big YouTuber will sign an exclusivity deal with a competing platform. Now, that would be interesting. That would be revolutionary. That would be game changing. But it won't work. I don't think it would work. That would be a tough one. Okay, I take that back. It could work. It could work. And here's why. There was a point in time where I thought NFTs were actually going to have their place when it came to copyright and content creator, intellectual property ownership. But that never panned out. That never happened. NFTs is really just a scam. It's just a way to take money from people. Excellent. Way to go. Bravo. And, but if a YouTuber were to sign an exclusive deal with a specific platform, obviously the options would include X, formerly known as Twitter, which, when will we stop saying that? TikTok and Rumble. I don't really want to put Rumble in there, but I have to. It'll never happen. But Rumble is kind of like, I don't even know if I would consider it to be like the International Basketball League, where I think Dwight Howard even just signed with some team in Croatia or something. And it's just because even they make decent money. But Rumble, there's no money to be made on Rumble. There's just not. And maybe at one point in time, maybe someday it could happen. Maybe if there were actually a platform that had no algorithm, that the creator could control the algorithm themselves by doing their own, marketing and branding and push, maybe. But, I just don't see it happening. So, Rumble is in contention, but I don't really see it as a viable option. So next on the list would obviously be Twitter, X. But even Mr. Beast told Elon Musk, he goes, there's no way you could even come close to offering the type of money that Mr. Beast would require. They don't have the support. They don't have the advertisers. So that would mean that they would need an up and coming rising star to get in early and literally invest in them for their own growth and the growth of Twitter. And that would be a huge financial risk. And it would be a huge financial risk. And I also don't think that even if I were approached with this opportunity, which that would never happen, I would probably decline it because I think Mr. Musk is a little bit too eccentric to work with on that level. And yeah, hard pass. Then you got TikTok. That could happen. That could happen. I could see that one happening. Who would it be? It would be someone who's already on TikTok. They wouldn't pull them from YouTube. But then that's the thing. It's like, could you realistically have an exclusive deal with TikTok? Because we already know that people are going to pirate and steal and replicate and reproduce and react to, oh my God, these reaction channels. Get me started on that crap. Your content on YouTube. So yeah, you've got an exclusive deal that you're only going to produce for TikTok, but that's not stopping everybody else from stealing your shit. Which obviously they could step in and introduce copyright claims and strikes and, incentivize or disincentivize people from doing it, but it wouldn't stop it. It wouldn't stop it. So I don't even know if it's really possible to do that, to have that exclusivity and it be meaningful. It's like if you wanted to sign a deal with TikTok or Twitter to be exclusive over there, and it's like, okay, great. We're paying you $10 million for this contract, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, somebody else is stealing your content, putting on YouTube and making $20 million. Like, why would a business want to engage in that practice? It just doesn't make sense. Number 3, I gotta be careful how I do number 3. These are things that I learned on YouTube that I didn't know before I started putting myself out there on camera for the masses, for the world to see me and judge me and critique me and be angry at me. Because if I go number 3, well, this is a problem. I don't know why this is a problem, but if I say number 3, this is a problem. If I say number 3, this is not a problem. 3, problem. 3, not a problem. Yeah, go figure. Number 3, Mr. Beast will launch a game. Seems feasible, plausible, possible, makes sense. Probably, he probably could make some good money on it. It'd be an app. It wouldn't be a console game. It'd have to be an app. And then it would be like, well, if he's going to launch a game, it's almost like YouTube should incorporate games into the platform. It's like YouTube is in this mode where they want to be everything and anything to everybody. So it almost makes sense for YouTube to incorporate some sort of game into the content, or maybe incorporate a game into the actual content, which would further drive retention and possibly offer greater opportunity and ability for YouTube to introduce more products, which ultimately means more revenue for the company and theoretically more profit. That would be an interesting one. Number 4, there will be an entirely AI generated creator that hits 1 million subscribers. There's some girl, it's weird that I say this, there's some girl, she's not real. She's got like light pink hair, and evidently she makes $10,000 a month on OnlyFans, and she's not even real. She's just entirely AI. Kudos on that business venture. But something like that could possibly do it. But I ain't gonna lie. I mean, to get 1 million subscribers with AI, like if you have the ability to manipulate coding and prompts to produce content that can convince people to pay you because you're AI and you're not real, then you have what it takes to get 1 million subscribers. And honestly, the simple and easiest way to do that, in my opinion, would be to just make shorts, because it doesn't really take much to get a lot of shorts out there in a short period of time, no pun intended, and gain subscribers from shorts. And that's why you would probably often see channels with huge subscriber counts, but their long form videos don't really get many views. But if you hit the shorts tab, you're like, oh, got it. That's where you got your subscribers from. But again, subscribers don't matter. So it really wouldn't take much, I don't think, for that one to actually come to fruition. Number 5 would be community features like polls, posts, etc. will become a big thing. Maybe. I think it's an untapped resource that isn't necessarily presented in the best possible way that YouTube could use it for so many great things, but I also don't think that YouTube knows how to tie products to the community tab yet. They're still working on tying products to shorts and making that worthwhile. First goal was to introduce them. The second goal was to steal market share away from TikTok and get more people to do it. And then the third would be to be able to generate massive amounts of revenue and profit from it. We'll see if that happens. Number 6, YouTube will launch multi-thumbnails. So the interesting thing about number 6 is it actually already has happened. YouTube has already launched multi-thumbnails, or at least in beta, and they're rolling it out. I don't have it yet. I'm looking forward to getting it. Odds are Michelle will get it first. Squirrel Tribe will get it first. She's got more subscribers, and YouTube likes her. And you'll get A, B, and C testing. So you'll get 3 options for thumbnails if you so choose. And it'll be an interesting test. I think vidIQ is already, or maybe it was TubeBuddy. vidIQ or TubeBuddy, one of those guys already got theirs and was able to test it. And it's an interesting metric, arbitrary metric that they're using to gauge this. It is what it is. What I really wished for, maybe I should start writing into YouTube and giving them my suggestions, was that we would see a day where we would be able to have GIF or GIF thumbnails, little animated thumbnails, that little animated thumbnails, like not where you have to hover over them to get a preview of the video, or now instead no preview, it just starts playing the video. Just a little animated GIF where, just little animations. But I'm sure that would be extremely taxing and overload the servers. They would have to build more data centers and start charging for the space. It's amazing how they manage all this space. It's unreal. Number 7 of the 13 unbelievably shocking changes happening to YouTube, anti-meta is the new meta, which if I just read it, I wouldn't have understood it, because I was thinking, okay, the metadata that you would typically include and incorporate in your file or your thumbnail or the description or keyword tags or whatever like that. But instead, the anti-meta is the new meta, and essentially lower production is the new meta. There was actually a video I saw maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and somebody was making this comparison about like a super edited and super polished video in comparison to just pulling your phone out and just pressing record and trying to deliver the message as raw and organic and as quickly as possible. So I don't know if that's exactly what number 7 is, but it's less Mr. Beast and it's more, I guess I'd have to say it's more like clear value tax. If you've ever seen clear value tax. So it's less Mr. Beast, where it's a lot of cuts and edits and captions and bright, graphics and all sorts of stuff going on. And more clear value tax, where it's like literally just a blank white wall and a guy standing there with a tie and some notes talking to you. Maybe Courtney Ryan. I saw Courtney Ryan this morning a little bit, and she's still similar format, super simple, super easy, and then just delivering the information. Maybe that's the direction we're going. It's strange though, because even if that's the direction we're going, then you have to decide, well, do you want to create based on what they're telling you have to create, or do you want to create based on how you feel and enjoy creating. And that's where you have a rub. That's where you have a real challenge, okay? Number 8 would be TV will become the highest watch time percentage device. Now, I noticed this the other day, and it was almost 50% of my views were coming from TV. And the other 50% were coming from a combination of smartphone, tablet, computer. I think that's how they did it. So TV is getting up there. Obviously, we have smart TVs. We have, different ways of simply and easily watching on TV. But this changes your content because, YouTube's already detached from engagement, likes, and subscribers to determine and quantify viewer satisfaction. And part of that is probably because of TV. Because when you're watching YouTube on TV, you're not liking, you're not subscribing, and you're not commenting because it's just not the simplest process and it's not fluid and easy to do like you would on a smartphone or a computer. So that means the content creator and YouTube are going to have to formulate a new way in delivering products so that people can convert on call to actions and different things like that. So yeah, sure, probably. And yeah, I can see that happen. Number 9, the average video length will increase quite a lot. Now this may or may not be because of TV, but it's probably also has a lot to do with podcasts and all these collaborations that are going on, and we're getting introduced to 1 to 2 to 3 hour plus long conversations that really insightful discussions and talks where we're not trying to rush through it. We're not trying to accelerate and fast forward through it. We're trying to literally connect with a community out there in the world. Now, granted, there are the comparison, the alternative, you've seen the challenges of I'm going to go, live for forever, for days. There's even channels out there that have been live for years. They have this system, this complex computer system of servers built so that they literally just run these live streams 24/7, 365. But the average video length will increase quite a lot. And it's strange because I feel like there's a portion of folks out there who just insist that they don't have the time. And, I'm sure that maybe they do. It's just like anything else. You don't have the time for things that you don't want to have the time to do. You don't have time for things that you don't want to make time to do, especially if it's not it's not mandatory. This is a luxury. This is a choice. This is an option. So the longer video length, possibly. I don't know how I feel about retention. So, some people are really hung up on it, but in my experience from just different things, it's like, what is the goal of viewer retention? Because it doesn't necessarily equate to more views, more reach, more money, more subs, more, So, yeah, to each their own. My videos ultimately, and what I explain to people is the video is going to be however long it's going to be. And that's how long the video needs to be. So, if your video is a start to finish, marathon, then that's how long the video needs to be. If your video is a real-time flight simulator from, New York to London, that's how long the video is going to be, And if your video is, I need to tell you guys something really, really quick, then that needs to be the video. It doesn't need to be, I need to tell you guys something really, really quick. And then 30 minutes later, you still haven't told them anything. So that's just my philosophy about how I go about that. But I felt like in the beginning of this video, I was trying to explaining that full disclosure before we got started. Let's see here. Number 10, YouTube takes over the podcast game, video and audio. And that would also aid to the, future of longer videos, longer content. Is a podcast a video? Sort of, I guess. If you're only listening to it on your YouTube music player app, then not really. But yeah. But it's like, I do think that there's a lot of people out there that are interested in these conversations and these talks that are meaningful and impactful and insightful and loaded with value and information. And these are just things that you can't rush through. And if you want, you can include chapters and you can break it up. YouTube even does chapters for some people automatically, depending on the video and how it's structured and formatted. And yeah, so this could, YouTube, I think, I'm not a big podcast. I don't listen to podcasts really, but of the podcasts that I have listened to, they've all been on YouTube. One of the only podcasts that I really listened to was DJ Baby U, but that wasn't really a podcast. He was just uploading his mixes to a podcast player, and that's where I was able to listen to him. But to literally like sit and listen to people talk, it's YouTube. It's YouTube. If it's the conversation that I'm interested in and it's providing me with the insight that I was looking for. And in these conversations, these podcasts, these talks, it's not about getting an answer. It's about, the provoking thought. You see what I'm saying? Some folks don't understand that in these videos. And they're like, well, you never told us this, or you never said that, or you never showed. And you can't, because you just can't. You can talk about things, you can share experiences, you can discuss philosophy and theory, but you some of these things you just can't provide a clear cut, do this, do that, and then this will happen. It's not possible. Number 11, background play will be made available for everyone, not just premium. Interesting. If YouTube can entice more people to watch longer, then theoretically this should produce more for YouTube. And if you can run background and play ads, then I don't see why YouTube wouldn't offer that. And the key will be, how do they roll it out to make people feel good that YouTube's giving them something that most people had to pay for now for free. Like, that's a huge opportunity for YouTube to take advantage of after catching a black eye for raising the price of premium or deleting ad blockers or throttling users with ad blockers. So this is an opportunity for YouTube to really paint themselves in a good light after so many fumbles. One of those being shorts. I hate shorts. Unrelated. Number 12, YouTube will add monthly viewers to the channel page. And I think the way Jay Alto explained this was, he's like, subscriber counts don't matter anymore, but they do need some sort of metric that does. So monthly viewers to the channel page, that could be interesting. Maybe another one would be members. You put how many members, because honestly, I think members would probably be more lucrative for YouTube because members pay YouTube. If you can entice viewers to become members on your channel and pay a monthly fee, YouTube's taking a cut of that fee. So just displaying monthly viewers on a channel doesn't really move the needle for YouTube in regard to them making more money. And if you don't think that this entire YouTube platform is for the sole purpose of them making money, then maybe we should have mentioned that in the beginning of this video. You're now 40 minutes in, you're just realizing that this is a for-profit business. So I think the member count would probably, YouTube has a lot of great features, but YouTube doesn't have the best way of advertising and presenting and sharing these features and informing the viewer and audience of these features. Not even really the creator, to the point of which they would incentivize the creator to inform the audience. And a lot of these things go by the wayside because nobody knows. Nobody knows that it's there. Number 13 of the unbelievably shocking changes happening to YouTube. In-person events for big creators will become the norm. And I disagree. I think in-person events for all creators may become the norm. I came across a channel the other day. It was some woman named Where is Tiffany, I believe. And she was talking about her meetups and essentially how she's not going to do them anymore. Now, to me, they seem dangerous. But if you do them in the right way, then they potentially could be harmless. But she was upset that people said that they would be there and they didn't show up. Now, granted, she's not a large channel, not a huge channel or a huge subscriber count. So let's just say she's got 50,000 subs, I'm guessing here, and 10 people were supposed to show up. Only one did. Okay, so there's the math. And if we were to extrapolate that to a 1 million subscriber channel, then maybe 100 or 200 people would say that they would show up, but only 10 to 30 would show up. Maybe. Depends on the reason why. Because I'm pretty sure Jordan Welch did I think Jordan Welch did a in-person event. I think it was like a secret private in-person event that if only you were in the circle, you even knew about it. And I think the turnout was unreal. I also think that he gave away a Rolex watch to one of the somebody who showed up too. So it all depends. It depends on, just because, again, this is a for-profit business, and I look at channels as for-profit businesses. And just because you start a business and you open a business doesn't mean you're going to get business. It doesn't mean you're going to get customers. It doesn't mean you're going to get patrons and consumers. And it doesn't mean you're going to make any revenue or turn a profit. That will be dependent upon your marketing, your strategy, your pricing, your value, your product, and luck. But remember, the harder you work, the luckier you get, right? So those are the 13 unbelievably shocking changes happening to YouTube, or at least predicted to possibly happen. And one of them has already happened, or at least is in the works of happening and being rolled out to so many people. But then you got to think, number 6, YouTube will launch multiple thumbnails. Does that then multiply and amplify the percentage of clickbait out there now that creators will have 3 opportunities to clickbait you with their thumbnails? Oh man, only time will tell. Now, I did watch another video. I watch a lot of videos. And this one was reasons why everyone quit or quitting. I think it was quitting, one or the other. Everybody's quitting YouTube, basically. This is the new trend. And it was, I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher her name, Zendika Darula. Maybe I got it right. Maybe I got it wrong. I didn't really listen to the video. I kind of skimmed through it, and I'll tell you why. Drawing inspiration to give my take or have a conversation or discussion without being potentially persuaded or creating any sort of bias based on anybody else's. Okay. I despise, I loathe, I got to be careful with the choice of words because YouTube's always listening and watching and censoring. And I don't want to possibly make a mistake on how I'm describing this, but creators, I can't use that word. Certain YouTube channels and the people who run the channels who are solely out there purely just to steal from others without introducing their own form of creativity. Yeah. We could do with a whole lot less of them, in my opinion. But Zendika Darula, essentially her video boiled down to one reason why everybody was quitting YouTube. And it was because they were burned out and exhausted. They were burned out and exhausted. And depending on how long you've been doing it, and depending on the evolution of your channel, depending on your business, depending on a lot of different factors, the burnout can be real. You can get exhausted, but I don't think that's the only reason why people would be quitting. And I don't think that she meant it that way. People could be quitting for a lot of different reasons. And one of the reasons why they could be quitting is because they're not quitting. And they just wanted to leverage the keyword quitting to get more reach and more views on their video. But again, like I said earlier, some people quit and they don't realize that they didn't. And I believe one of the channels that I came across a few months ago was Anna Uncharted. And I think she even made a video where it was, I'm quitting and here's the reasons why. And it was a really well put together video. You know, she put a lot of thought into the video, a lot of editing and different things like that. But soon thereafter, maybe about a month or so, she came back. And that's okay. That's all right. Because honestly, if you really do enjoy it and you really do love it, it's really hard to stop 100% cold turkey. You see what I'm saying? But either way, there you have it. 13 unbelievably shocking changes happening to YouTube and why everybody's quitting in 2024. Let me know your thoughts, comments down below. Smash the like button, subscribe, even though it doesn't matter. I'll see you guys on the next one.